All right, YouTube, we are back. Telling y'all it is raining and it is cold out there. But anyway, we back trying to make a little money, trying to stay consistent on YouTube. I had to go out because y'all didn't notice, but my son got his first job. And he loved that job working at the little ice cream shop, and uh he would go every day and it was good, and he never got a paycheck. So I didn't understand why my son never got a paycheck. So try to be cordial with her, let her know that, I'm sorry that you having issues and all, but my son can't come back to work until you resolve whatever you got going on your end. And she said fine, it was fine, it was cool. And it went on for about 2-3 weeks, and I told her if I had to come up there today, I was going to call the cops because I just need a police report in case I had to do a little small claims court. Now, I would have paid my son regardless. My son, I wouldn't have let him work without getting paid. Whether she paid it or not, I was going to pay my son. But today, went out there on Wednesday like I told her I would, and she wasn't there, but she did leave a check in the drawer for my son, and we appreciate that so very much. And I feel like it's a disadvantage to her, because so my son, guys, this is no hype. When I say this is no hype, this is no hype. When I say my son is Mr. Allstate, like my son is Mr. Allstate. Everybody loves my son. If I'm out in public, you number 44? Hey, Ken J, what's going on? Like, it's nonstop. I mean, it's adults, it is children. You know, when I was in school, depending on what kind of kid you was, you might not have been talked to. That's not my son. My son talks to everybody, make sure everybody knows they have his attention. Like, he might not come over to your house, but he is definitely going to promote you. You understand? And he's more happy when his friend make a touchdown than when he make a touchdown. He is genuinely more happy when, no, I can't lie, when it come to that bench pressing. Guys, I didn't know my son was doing weightlifting, but my son has always been this person, like, he's just so independently driven. When he started football, he just came home and he was like, tomorrow I need you to take me XYZ to pick up XYZ because I joined a football team. Really? And you did that without adult supervision? Like, you ain't check on my schedule or nothing? But he's just always been that type. I remember a time or two, we were staying with my mom, and my son just knew he wanted rice for dinner. He got on his bike, went up the road, got the rice, brought it back. And I mean, we probably like 7, I don't know, we not far. Like, you throw a rock, you can hit the grocery store. But he was only like 6. Got on his bike, went up there, got the rice, came back like, I want rice for dinner. Like, my son has always had that very manly, very independent vibe of his. So anyway, so yeah, so I think Friday he lets me know, or Thursday, hey, such and such is going to come spend the night so we can go to weightlifting tryouts together. What? We already struggling with all this football. You understand what I'm saying? You not driving nothing. We working on getting him a car because I ain't got time, y'all. So anyway, I got a whole nother kid that I got to worry about. I got this job I'm worried about. Like, now we, okay, it's just tryouts. Okay, we're going to breathe easy. So the little boy, he stayed to the house. Oh my God. This boy act just like my son. Damn near look just like my son. Oh my gosh. It is ridiculous. We'll talk about that another time. So he's like, so I get up that morning, make them some oatmeal, and I drop them off to the bus because they're going to bus out to the big school. And he said pick him up personally because he wanted to go straight to work afterwards. Okay. All right, cool. So I get there whole tournament, y'all. I've never been to a weightlifting nothing. This is a whole blown out tournament. These little boys, 675, 600. My son doing 475. What? Who are you and when did you start bench pressing all of this? And do I need not to remind you that you got health issues going on? I'm telling you, this boy ain't trying to let nothing stop him. Ain't nothing gonna stop him. Sick one day, might be sick 2 days. That third day, he out. He out. What we not gonna do is sit still and feel sorry for ourselves. This is what we not gonna do. This is what we not, and that's not what he is allowed. Oh my God. And he won. So not he training. My son, I swear to God, I think he just woke up like this and was like, you know, I'm a press. And press and won. Going to state championships, I think sometime next month. Okay, son, I see you. And that reminds me of another time we were sitting in the Navy office with my daughter, and we were talking about my son as well, and we were like, yeah, my son will probably join the Navy as well, but he'll probably do something like Navy SEALs or something. And the guy looked at me, he was like, it really takes a lot. Like, you can't just jump in and become a Navy SEAL. And I was like, okay, no problem. Because in my mind, this is how the conversation went when we got in the car. My youngest turned to me, she said, Mama, you heard him say it take a lot for people to get into the Navy SEAL program? I said, I did. I said, but I didn't pay it no attention because Kenjay succeeds in anything and everything he wants to. She was like, Mom, I felt the same way. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a spoken, unsaid thing that if my son gonna go after it, he gonna get it. He gonna get it. My daughter said, Mom, I was thinking the same thing. That's why I didn't even have to discuss it. If you know me, you know that I don't engage in discussions that have no value to me. Like, if you try to argue with me, you have no value to me. I'm not going to argue with you. This guy, what he was saying had no value to me. So when he said, yeah, that's not an easy program, it was just like, all right. Because I already knew what it was. My daughter already knew what it was. We laughed about it so hard. Like, you feel me? My son is, so anyway, back to the ice cream lady. So all I'm trying to say is, it was crazy for her not to pay my son. I don't know her situation. It might have been something that happened at home that spilled into the business and she was doing the best she could. And we're going to leave it at that, you know. But it was to her benefit to do right by my son, because I can only imagine all the little girls, all the football players, all the guys pushing weights. And I mean, we had dudes from varsity coming at my son like, hey, Kenjay, I see you. You understand what I'm saying? When somebody can't play varsity ball, they call my son. You know, it would have been to her benefit to have my son there and to pay him correctly and to have any employee paid correctly, because that's not the path you would want to leave. Like, I'm really big on that path you leave behind you. You don't want to leave chaos everywhere you go. Everywhere you go is confusion. Everywhere you go, it's a game. It's a manipulation. It's a diss on somebody else. You don't want that in your path. Well, if you're a conscious person, you don't want that past behind you. You understand what I'm saying? You do not want that past behind you. You want to leave a path where you have spoken something into somebody's life, or that you've just grown yourself. Because there ain't nothing wrong with being out here growing. You understand what I'm saying? So we had that. So I went and got that done. But that ain't even what I'm here to talk to y'all about today. I had a conversation with a family member. And they asked me, how did I feel about, I think it was, what's that new word? I'm so sick of all these new words, y'all. I'm so sick of all these new words. But I think the new, polyamorous relationships, we don't filter nothing over here. We don't do no screen check. We come live. This is what it is. What did I think of polyamorous relationships. And at first I didn't think anything, because again, I let people be exactly who they want to be, you know? But when I think about it a little more, and I'm asked a genuine opinion from me, I would say it's nothing but control or manipulation and low self-esteem. And these are my thoughts why. Because first of all, it's ego, power, and manipulation, whether it's the man or the woman who says, all of us can sleep together, but nobody else can sleep with anybody else. Why? Why? And to put relationship on the end of it is like the stupidest thing ever to me, because it's not a relationship. You understand what I'm saying? We are in a situationship. We just enjoying having sex. Why can't we just say we enjoy having sex? Us three, us four, we enjoy having sex. We enjoy, what's it called? Orgies. You understand? We are swingers. Why y'all gotta come up with these new polyamorous words? And why we calling it a relationship? Because it's not. It is not. It is control, and it is manipulation, and it is low self-esteem. And I'm going to tell you why it's low self-esteem, especially if the man or the woman is not a lesbian or bisexual or gay. Because only a person with low self-esteem would say, I'm not enough. First of all, I'm not enough. That's what it screams out. I am not enough. I do not love myself enough. I do not cherish myself enough. I don't trust myself enough that I'm good enough for him or her. So in order to stay in their good graces, in order to still be a part of what they're a part of, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. That's all it is, people. That is all it is. Ego, low self-esteem. You know what that's called? That is called a trauma bond. That's a trauma bond. I don't care how sexy you try to make it seem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got both of them, you know? It's a trauma bond. Because you don't feel like you man enough. So you need all this. You need the title. You know what I'm saying? You need all this. And my thing is, oh my God, some of y'all are polyamorous with the most out here things. If y'all don't know what out here things is, that my Geechee coming out. These girls ain't really worth it. These girls ain't really clean. These guys ain't really worth it. But you feel like you boss hoe because you got 3 of these niggas. I mean, ninjas. Or you got 4 or 5 of these girls, but they all little low maintenance girls. And you got 4 or 5 low maintenance girls because you can't equal up to one bad chick. One chick who don't need you, but is willing to share her life with you. Period. Other than that, why we just can't label it as single? This my friend. You can be my friend too. What is this polyamorous, this relationship BS? No, people. Ego, low self-esteem. I want you so bad, I'm willing to share you. I can't be alone so bad, I'm willing to share you. I'm not pretty enough so bad, I'm willing to share you. I'm willing to give up half of me without a ring for you. These dudes probably ain't even paying no major bills in the house. They probably ain't taking kids to Chuck E. Cheese like they need to be. Probably ain't showing up to parent-teacher conferences. Probably is not paying goddamn the braces bill. But you giving him all this privilege to run up in you, run up in her. If he asks you to, y'all sleeping together, sharing all this intimacy, but they ain't sharing nothing else. Y'all ain't sharing life. Y'all sharing some sexually transmitted diseases, some sexually transmitted spirits, some attachments, some trauma bonds. But it ain't real. It ain't real. And the moment one of y'all want to get real, it'll probably be this other person over here saying, oh no, They pulling you back because they don't want you to get woke. They don't want you to see your self-value. And that's all it is. That's all it is. I felt like I might have had more to say, but I don't. It really just equals to, I hate myself. I can't live without you because then I'll have to figure me out. Crazy. 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 Self-love is needed, guys. If we ain't got self-love, we need to go out there and get self-love. We need to be journaling. We need to be in our word or whatever you are part of. We need to be practicing self-discipline. We need to be practicing abstinence. Something wrong if you can't be happy with just you. Something wrong if every other person around you intimidates you. I ain't intimidated by a motherfucker. You understand me? And some people would think because I walk away from an argument, I'm intimidated. No, I ain't got time. Huge difference. Huge difference. You can't be no scary person and move 3 kids 10, 9, 8, 12 hours away from everything you always know without looking back. Can't be no scary person. Not at all. But you ain't gonna bother me. For what? For what, y'all? Ciao. Anyway, I be saying a prayer for a nation out here. Self-love. It is powerful. It is powerful. Self-love will allow you to help somebody and actually mean it. Because a lot of help out here, they just doing it for the show. A lot of relationships out here ain't happy. They just doing it for the show. You sharing your woman, you sharing your man, you just doing it with the show. One day you gonna know you enough. You understand me? Well, I'm gonna come back at y'all. I don't know when. But we're gonna talk about some cookbooks. It's like my favorite cookbook ever. No, I'm lying. I got 1,000 favorite cookbooks, but I'm gonna do, I like cookbooks I can read too. Like I be reading my cookbooks. I get all my cookbooks. I love going to flea markets and thrift stores, getting books. I love it. I've picked up some of my best random books at the thrift store or the flea market, and I'll cut through a couple pages, and I love it. I absolutely love it. That's another thing. Pick up a book. Learn how to spend time with yourself. Learn what you like to do versus doing what everybody else expects you to do. Being with people expect you to be with, knowing you don't even fucking like them people. Why you with somebody just because somebody told you it's best to be over here? And see, you know what? That's what I don't like about a person. You can't be a man or a woman in my life and you make no decisions for yourself. I got a baby daddy. He calls, I don't think he made a decision by himself since 86. Since 86, y'all. I hate a person that can't make a decision and stand on it by themselves. They always out here fishing. What do you think? Should I? Shouldn't I? What should I do? Who should I date? Why should I be with them? If you don't know these things for yourself, you shouldn't be out here. You should not be out here. Self-love, guys. Self-care. It's real. It will open up your life to amazing opportunities. Okay? All right, YouTube. I'm out of here. I'm going to come back with my books. I'm going to come back. We're going to talk about that halftime show because I just saw it yesterday because y'all know I don't watch football. I promise you I'm going to get into football. I'm going to get into football. I'm going to know what football is. But my youngest daughter did sit me down and she showed me the halftime show. So I'm going to get on here and I'm going to run my mouth about the halftime show because I thought it was kind of cool. I'm not really a Kendrick fan because he be doing a lot in his videos. Like, I like his music, but he be doing a lot in his videos. But I ain't see none of that at the halftime show. The halftime show I thought was superiorly righteous. You understand what I'm saying? I'm about that. I am so about that. But anyway, listen, we're going to do it again. I'm going to see y'all later.